There are moments in life when silence carries more truth than noise, when ordinary days begin holding unfamiliar feelings, and when the heart starts sensing movement long before the eyes notice change. This message arrives in one of those quiet moments, wrapped in the feeling that something meaningful has been moving toward you for far longer than you realized. A connection has been weaving itself through missed timings, unfinished chapters, unexpected delays, and strange moments of reflection. The path ahead has not been empty, even during seasons that looked still, because certain bonds approach slowly, carefully shaping both souls before allowing them to meet in full. You have spent time building strength where nobody applauded, carrying responsibilities that others never fully understood, and learning how to keep moving even when life asked more from you than felt fair. Those experiences were not simply obstacles, they were preparing spaces within you for something gentler to finally stay. My beloved child, there is a quiet shift surrounding your energy now, one that feels less like sudden change and more like a door unlocking after years of standing closed. Not every arrival announces itself loudly, because some of the most important people enter life softly and remain permanently. Type Amen if this message resonates with your spirit. The special someone connected to your path does not carry perfection. They carry familiarity, comfort, and the strange feeling of recognition that appears before logic catches up, creating peace instead of confusion and steadiness instead of emotional chaos. Their energy feels different because they are not approaching your life to complete you. They are approaching your life prepared to walk beside the version of you that survived difficult seasons and still learned how to love, hope, and keep believing that meaningful connections still existed. There were moments when loneliness tried convincing you that waiting meant rejection. There were nights when seeing others move ahead created silent pressure inside your chest, making time feel unfair and patience feel exhausting. Yet timing has always moved in ways the heart rarely understands while living through it. What looked delayed was often protection, what looked empty was often preparation, and what felt forgotten was sometimes simply unfinished. Comment 333 if you feel change moving closer. The person moving toward your life carries their own history of disappointment, lessons, and healing. They have also spent time wondering if lasting connection still existed, quietly rebuilding trust after moments that made vulnerability feel dangerous. Because of this, your paths required distance before closeness. Two people learning similar lessons separately often create stronger foundations together when the timing finally aligns. You may notice small shifts before major ones appear. Familiar songs begin feeling more emotional, random thoughts become stronger, certain memories return unexpectedly, and a strange calm replaces old urgency. These moments are not loud announcements. They are emotional signals, soft reminders that internal seasons change before external reality reflects them. Archangel Michael says, "Sometimes love approaches after the heart becomes less desperate to chase it." The energy around you feels less like pursuit and more like alignment, less like forcing and more like allowing. Type receive if you welcome peaceful love. The person connected to this message notices details others overlook. They appreciate loyalty, consistency, quiet support, and genuine effort because their life has taught them the value of emotional safety over temporary excitement. Their presence does not create constant uncertainty. Their presence creates relief, because healthy connection often feels calmer than the dramatic stories people mistake for destiny. You have already changed enough to recognize the difference now. Earlier versions of yourself may have chased attention, confusion, or unavailable people, but growth reshaped your standards through experience. Now your energy seeks depth. Your heart seeks stability. Your spirit seeks something that feels safe enough to build a future around. There is significance in the fact that you kept choosing hope despite disappointment. That choice quietly transformed you into someone capable of receiving what once would have passed unnoticed. Comment 111 to welcome new beginnings. Marriage energy is not only about ceremonies, rings, or promises spoken aloud. It is also about emotional readiness, shared vision, daily partnership, and the willingness to build through both beautiful moments and difficult ones. The connection surrounding you carries these qualities more strongly than you realize. It feels practical while remaining emotional, grounded while remaining meaningful, and realistic while still feeling magical in quiet ways. There may already be traces of this person around your life. A familiar face, an unexpected reconnection, a person entering through work, community, friendship circles, or an interaction that initially appears ordinary. Big moments often disguise themselves as small beginnings. The future rarely announces itself dramatically when it first arrives. My beloved child, there is no need to force timelines anymore. Your task has never been controlling every outcome. Your task has been becoming the version of yourself capable of recognizing healthy love when it appears. This season carries less pressure and more openness. That difference changes everything. Type Amen for alignment and peace. You have spent enough time carrying emotional weight alone. Strength helped you survive, but partnership asks for different muscles: trust, softness, communication, patience, and shared responsibility. The special someone approaching your path values partnership over performance. They are less interested in appearances and more interested in authenticity, because they understand how exhausting masks become over time. There is something important about the way this connection develops. It feels natural enough to trust and meaningful enough to remember. Days that once felt repetitive begin gaining anticipation. Conversations feel lighter. Decisions feel less lonely. Future plans begin including another person without resistance. This shift happens slowly at first. Most meaningful transformations do. Comment 777 if you are open to divine timing. You may also notice old emotional patterns returning briefly before leaving permanently. Fear sometimes appears when new chapters approach because the mind naturally compares possibility with past experiences. Do not mistake temporary hesitation for wrong timing. Healing often revisits unfinished corners before allowing new beginnings to settle comfortably. The energy around you feels like completion rather than repetition. That distinction matters deeply. Archangel Michael says, "Love built for longevity often arrives without unnecessary chaos." It builds trust through actions, consistency, and quiet presence rather than confusion and emotional extremes. The person connected to your path respects effort because they understand sacrifice. They value loyalty because they have experienced disappointment. They appreciate softness because life has already shown them hardness. Their affection feels intentional. Their commitment feels earned. Their presence feels grounding. Type yes if you are ready for healthy connection. There was a period when you stopped speaking certain desires out loud because protecting your heart felt safer than expressing hope. Quiet dreams replaced open expectations. Yet hidden desires still carry energy. The wish for companionship, shared mornings, mutual support, and lasting partnership never disappeared completely. Somewhere within you, the part that still believed kept surviving. That surviving hope matters because it kept your heart available instead of permanently closed. You are entering a season where emotional reciprocity becomes more visible. Effort meets effort. Care meets care. Presence meets presence. This changes the way relationships feel because balance creates peace. Comment love if you choose connection over fear. The special someone tied to this message carries calm confidence rather than constant intensity. They know who they are becoming, even while still growing. Growth matters because lasting partnerships require flexibility. Two people willing to evolve together create stronger foundations than two people pretending they already know everything. You are not being led toward perfection. You are being guided toward compatibility, emotional maturity, and shared values. Those qualities create homes within relationships. Those qualities create futures. There will be moments where recognition happens unexpectedly. A conversation lasts longer than expected. A feeling lingers after interaction ends. Familiarity appears without explanation. Those moments deserve attention because intuition often speaks softly. Type 444 to welcome peaceful transformation. Your heart has carried enough unfinished stories. The energy surrounding you now feels more focused on building than recovering. Building requires different choices. It asks for vulnerability after disappointment and openness after protection. You are more prepared than you realize. Your experiences created wisdom. Your setbacks created boundaries. Your healing created space. Space matters because love cannot settle where survival takes all available room. My beloved child, release the belief that meaningful connection must arrive dramatically to be real. Gentle beginnings often create the strongest endings. The future connection around you feels gentle. It feels patient. It feels steady. And steadiness becomes beautiful when life has previously offered inconsistency. Comment peace if calm love resonates with you. There is also something important about self-worth in this season. The more you value your emotional needs, the easier it becomes to recognize people capable of honoring them. The version of you reading these words today is different from the version that accepted less. Growth changed your standards. Growth changed your boundaries. Growth changed your expectations. Those changes were necessary because the relationship ahead requires healthier foundations than older versions of yourself were prepared to maintain. Archangel Michael says, the energy around commitment becomes stronger when fear loses influence. Love expands more naturally where trust has room to exist. Trust begins internally before it appears externally. That journey has already started. Type Amen for emotional alignment. As new people, opportunities, and moments enter your world, remain open to simplicity. Complicated stories often distract from meaningful ones. Pay attention to consistency. Pay attention to kindness. Pay attention to peace. The person approaching your path may not match every old expectation, yet they align with deeper needs you learned through experience. Sometimes life removes imagined versions of happiness to make room for real ones. And real happiness often feels quieter. Before this message closes, carry this truth gently with you. Meaningful connection does not always arrive when requested, but it often arrives when growth creates enough space to receive it. The waiting seasons shaped you. The difficult seasons strengthened you. The uncertain seasons refined you. Now your energy feels different because you feel different. A chapter centered around partnership, emotional safety, and shared future energy moves closer with each step forward. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks. And as this message settles into your heart, allow yourself to welcome what feels calm, healthy, and genuine. Some arrivals change life not because they appear loudly, but because they stay. Comment 888 if you are ready for lasting love and new beginnings. The story does not end here because meaningful connections rarely begin with a single moment. They unfold slowly, through ordinary days that suddenly feel different, through small interactions that leave lasting impressions, and through subtle changes that make the future feel less distant than before. You may notice yourself becoming less attached to old disappointments without forcing the process. Memories that once carried heaviness begin losing their weight, not because they never mattered, but because your energy is no longer meant to live there permanently. The heart understands movement before the mind accepts it. That is why certain days feel emotional without clear explanation and certain moments feel important even when they appear simple. Type Amen if you feel yourself entering a new season. The person connected to your path has also been changing in ways you cannot fully see. Their experiences have shaped patience, created maturity, and softened parts of them that once stayed guarded. Growth happening separately often creates stronger meetings later. Two people arriving with lessons instead of expectations create space for healthier beginnings. This energy surrounding you feels less rushed and more intentional. Intentional connections move differently because they prioritize foundation over fantasy. You are not stepping into a chapter built only on attraction. You are stepping towards something that values friendship, trust, emotional presence, and mutual effort. There is beauty in that kind of connection because it survives ordinary days, difficult conversations, and changing seasons. Comment 555 to welcome lasting connection. There may still be moments when doubt returns briefly. Old wounds sometimes whisper louder right before new chapters begin because familiar pain often tries staying longer than necessary. Allow those moments to pass without giving them permanent space. Temporary fear does not define permanent outcomes. My beloved child, your sensitivity has never been weakness. The way you care deeply, love sincerely, and remain hopeful despite disappointment has always been part of your strength. The right person recognizes that strength. They protect it rather than misuse it. Your future partnership energy carries balance. One person is not constantly chasing while the other constantly withdraws. Effort begins meeting effort. Presence begins meeting presence. Care begins meeting care. Type receive if you welcome balanced love. The life ahead does not only hold romantic moments. It holds shared goals, support during difficult seasons, laughter during ordinary evenings, and the comfort of knowing someone chooses to remain present. This kind of connection changes everyday life more than dramatic moments ever could. You have already spent enough time proving your worth. The next chapter feels less focused on proving and more focused on building. Building creates stability. Building creates trust. Building creates homes within people. Archangel Michael says, peace becomes easier to recognize after experiencing enough chaos to understand its value. That understanding now lives inside you. There is wisdom in your waiting. There is purpose in your growth. And there is movement surrounding your path. Comment 222 if you trust the timing of your journey. As this energy continues unfolding, continue choosing yourself too. Love grows stronger where self-respect already exists. Protect your peace. Protect your standards. Protect your ability to believe in something beautiful without abandoning yourself in the process. The special someone connected to this message does not arrive to rescue you. They arrive prepared to walk beside you. That difference changes everything. Because partnership built on equality lasts longer than connection built on dependency. And somewhere ahead, beyond familiar routines and ordinary days, a meeting, a conversation, or a moment quietly prepares to become part of your story. Stay open. Stay grounded. Stay hopeful. The chapter approaching carries softer energy than the ones behind you, and softness after difficulty feels like its own kind of blessing. Type Amen for love, peace, and new beginnings.